music, and that's going to Andy first.
Okay. I've written some notes down here. Not very good notes, but the notes. I'd say, from my point of view anyway, I started off I do listen to a lot of metal and punk and hardcore, but in the very early days, I used to listen to absolutely everything. So I had mates who liked the Beatles and Simon and Garfunkel, and used to go into one of my friends, and his dad loved Nat King Cole and Frank Sinatra. So I listened to absolutely everything of music, and then eventually, as I got a little bit older, I sort of settled for, sort of metal, hardcore, punk, more so than maybe some other music. But I was in lots of bands before I got into like punk and hardcore bands and things like that. I was in lots of other bands, like cover bands. So like I learned to play the drums, playing, sort of Beatles songs, or like popular music and everything. So I think, sum it all up, I think, if you're getting into music, then just sort of, try and listen to as many different genres of music as possible, and then decide on what you're comfortable playing yourself then. Hope that's answered it.
Excellent. Okay, Gary?
I think don't have expectations, essentially. So, like, don't kind of go into it with this idea of, wanting to have something as a big idea outcome of what you're going to get. So essentially, you got to, it should be around the fun, like we were saying before. If it's not enjoyable, if it's not fun, then it's probably the right time to either change your idea of what you want from the experience, or find a new interest. So I think it'd just be, just go out there and say find people to do it with that you've got a shared interest with, and that you can enjoy it with, and just go for it.
Okay, and Carl?
I think it depends what you want to get out of it. Like if you want to have sort of a good time, I'd say don't take it too seriously. If you take it really seriously, it's just going to consume you, and it's going to be forced. And I think if it's more natural, if you kind of have fun with it, and don't take yourself too seriously as well once you're in a band, because there's so many people who like are just, oh man, do you know who I am? And like, who gives a shit? Everybody's the same, you know what I mean? So I would say don't take it too seriously and have a laugh with it, enjoy it. Don't make it everything, but give it some merit, you know what I mean? Don't just downplay it all the time, but certainly enjoy it and have a laugh with it. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Excellent. Okay. Well, my advice is a bit more practical. You guys will probably already have an idea of what this is. Spare leads. Always. It's horrible because obviously in a punk band you can't really be saying that kind of finance should be a barrier to creating music, and it shouldn't be. But the fact of the matter is, your leads are going to break, your strings are going to break, your plectrum's going to go missing. Just have a spare everything as soon as you can, as soon as you get the opportunity. Batteries, that's the other one.
Batteries, yeah.
I just add to that, if anyone's watching and they work for Pasty 2002, I'm in the need of a new cymbal if you want to go.
There's a large piece of metal shearing off of one of Andy's cymbals, and I'm quite worried it's going to hit one of us at some stage. So you'd be saving a life if you can provide another cymbal. And that is going to go to Carl first.
I think the worst one I had was it was actually Gary's first gig. The first song, I completely did the wrong song. So I did the complete wrong lyrics and was convinced in my own head that everybody else was playing the wrong song and I was singing the right song. I think what we did is we changed the set around or something. So the song that we would normally start the set with, we started second. So in my head, I just was on autopilot. So I was like, yeah, that'll be the song that we start with. So I'll just sing that one, but it wasn't. my favourite gig that we've ever done as a band was we did a gig for the Wirral Roller Derby team, and I loved that gig. I just thought it was a brilliant gig. Every band was like completely different. We had face paints, and it was a Day of the Dead sort of themed gig. It was around Halloween time. So that's me sort of the funnest on stage sort of feeling I've had. I mean, I always get. We played the gig at Smithdown Road Festival one year, and I got really pissed off and was really angry before we played because the guy doing the sound wasn't a nice person, but and it affected the way I played, and I was really angry, really seething, and I'm not really like that. And when we came off stage, someone said to me, "Oh, that was really good. You look really pissed off." And I was like, "Yeah, I was," but there are a couple of sort of moments I've had while playing. Yeah.
Okay, Andy.
I've actually got something else written down in my notes, but it's by Carl just saying it like a bad time. A very recent gig we played when Claire was still in the band, and Gary and Carl know what I'm about to say. We were playing a cover of a Poison Idea song, and in this Manchester gig, I just couldn't remember, even though we'd been playing the song for about 3 months then maybe. I just couldn't remember the song, so Gary went through the guitar intro twice or 3 times maybe, and I just had to say, like, I can't remember. Let's do the next song. So that's the embarrassing moment of the gig. Not really memorable, but, and this is going to sound really corny now, like, but, and I don't know whether Carl will remember this because it's happened in a couple of gigs, but every now and again when we play a gig, Carl will turn round in the middle of like a song and maybe put his foot up on the bass drum, and our eyes will sort of meet, if you like, and it's just nice. It's just right in the middle of the song, and it's just like sort of as I was saying before in practice, it's like being in the moment with someone who's loving it just as much as you. So that might come across as really corny, but I love it. So
Excellent. Okay, Gary.
I've had so many like experiences of like just forgetting songs and forgetting parts, so I can't even whittle it down to one gig. There's been so many where I've been like, I don't know what I was playing there. But in terms of memorable, with one of the old bands I was in, we did a tour of did a couple of dates in Austria and did about 4 dates in Italy. And one of them was in Bologna, and we played a squat in Bologna, and it was pitched as a emo versus hardcore gig, and so because of that, I was trying to play like as hard as I could because we were not one of the hardcore bands, and so I was like playing off the stage, and there was just like all of the people there kind of are right around us, so we had hardly any room. And it's just like one of those things that I like always come back to, because like it was such a weird kind of experience, because you get there and it's a squat and you think, I have no idea what I'm going to get myself in, what we let ourselves in for. And then it was just run really well, and it kind of went on, and after the gig finished, they cleaned up the streets outside and put mats down, cleaned all the room inside, put mats down for everyone to sleep in. I was just like one of those, like, they do it pretty well in Europe. They do things properly.
Nice. I was trying to think of something kind of funny that had happened, but I can't think of any really stand out. They're all just a bit like either, oh, the gig was a bit rubbish, or it was okay. There was one where we played in London, and this was a very old band of mine, a band called Pristine, who I was in Bedford, and we played in London, and they had a screen showing films behind the stage, and we got Empire Strikes Back put on. It was just around the time of the 1997 Star Wars re-releases. So Star Wars was like the hot ticket at the time. And apparently it all looked really fantastic, but I was facing away from it. So I don't really know what happened. And the mate was like, oh, this happened and this happened and this happened. And then when I thought back, I thought, those aren't in that film. Those are all in Star Wars or Return of the Jedi. But the other thing that I can say about that is everyone involved in that gig was pissed because it was the first and really only time that we were given a massive rider. It was like 48 cans of beer. And the other two bands, one of them was too good to hang out in the dressing room, and the other one was stoners. So it was just 48 beers between 4 17-year-olds. So of course we thought Return of the Jedi was happening. And there was also a time where I played a festival, a punk festival just outside Leeds. To literally our audience was 2 women and a puppet, and was handed an envelope afterwards. They said, "Oh yeah, come along, you're really helping us out. Last minute, like we'll give you what the band you're replacing was going to get." I was like, "Oh, that's great!" And they handed me this envelope that had the name of the band we were replacing and £100, both with a line through them, and then Elvis Presley, £50 written on it. So that was great fun, as you can imagine. Okay. Gary first.
I think it would have to be San Francisco, just because of the scene, the Bay Area scene and everything. And just to make it extra special, Amoeba Records. Be a nice one. I think that'd be my favourite.
Cool.
Dream.
Excellent. Okay, Carl?
Outpost. Probably. No, Outpost is great. Japan, I'd really like to play in Japan. Tokyo. I've spoken about this a few times. I want to do the 3Ws tour in one night, which is Wigan, Warrington, and Widnes all in one night. I just think and I'd really like to play in Scotland. I'd really like to play in Glasgow. I've got sort of like a soft spot for Scotland. So yeah, they're my places.
Okay, and Andy?
Yeah, some good shouts there, Carl. I think I'd like to play somewhere I haven't visited yet. I do like playing new places, that like a new town. Like we played last year, we played Stourbridge. I've never been to Stourbridge before, so it was great to play somewhere new that I've never visited before. So it's always good. And we got to visit the Black Sabbath Museum as well, which was excellent.
Excellent. Okay, so two places that stand out for me. Number one is when I went to Tokyo in 2010, I stumbled across a place called the Loft in Shinjuku, and it was Halloween. And they had a Halloween punk all day, which was headlined by Guitar Wolf, who are one of my favourite bands. Unfortunately, they've got a reputation for hard drinking, so they were just pretty much incapable of playing by the time they came on at the end of the night. But you know, I've been drinking for just as long, so it was just as fun. And the other one is, funny you should mention Glasgow, King Tut's Wawa Hut. It always used to come up on the the tours when the old Britpop bands were going around the sort of toilet circuit. And I thought, like, if I could play there, then I could say I've made it. I can't, obviously, but I'd still like to play there. So brilliant. And that's my questions.